What is the deal with junk silver? Why do they call it junk silver? Why is it priced the way it is? And how do you go about buying this stuff without being scammed? That's what I want to talk about in this video. Let's get into it. Introducing the first ever 5-ounce silver maple leaf coin from the Royal Canadian Mint, a historic release with an iconic design that is available in a stunning 5-ounce format for the first time ever. Don't miss your chance to own a piece of minting history, available exclusively at sdbullion.com. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. A little bit later on in this video, I'm going to go over my junk silver buying guide 3.0, and this is the third time I've had to make one of these buying guides because the price of silver keeps going up. The first time I made a video with a buying guide, I had the price going up to $25.20. Then after COVID, the price of silver exploded higher. I made a second buying guide going all the way up to $56, but we've recently seen the price of silver go higher than that. So now we have the junk silver buying guide 3.0 going all the way up to $107.80. So as long as silver stays below that, this buying guide will work just fine. And don't worry, if you don't understand it, I'm going to explain exactly how it works later in the video so you know how to price junk silver, and more importantly, you'll know how to buy this stuff without getting scammed. But first, let's talk about what junk silver is and why they call it junk silver. So when I say junk silver, I'm referring to US minted dimes, quarters, and half dollars from the year 1964 or earlier. If you have a dime, a quarter, or a half dollar that says 1965 or later on it, then it is not considered junk silver. Now, the US minted half dollars were 40% silver from the year 1965 to 1970, but typically these are not referred to as junk silver. We just call them 40%ers or 40% silver Kennedy half dollars. So these are not included. But if it was minted in the year 1964 or earlier, then we would call it junk silver. And all of this is actually 90% silver and 10% copper. So there was a lot of cool coins that came out, a lot of different designs. These are the Walking Liberty half dollars. Oh, that's so nice. How could they ever call this junk silver? Some people call it 90% silver. Some people call it constitutional silver. But the term junk silver is not actually derogatory. It's just referring to the fact that this is only 90%. It's not pure. It's also circulated. A lot of these coins are worn down. But also, we have no rare dates in here, so no numismatic coins. So when we talk about junk silver, this is what we're referring to. But when it comes to pricing out this stuff, it can be a little bit tricky because the coin shops don't price junk silver in the same way that they price other silver items. For example, if you walk into a coin shop and you see a silver round or a silver coin, they're going to have a price per ounce. Or maybe they'll price it per coin. They'll say every American silver eagle is $50 or $60. And that's really easy to understand. But when it comes to junk silver, they're going to price it by the face value, which is a lot more difficult for people to understand, and the numbers don't always seem to add up in your mind. Let's use the example of 40x face. So you walk into a coin shop, you say, how much is the junk silver today? They'll tell you it's 40 times the face value. So you pick out 4 quarters. This is $1 face. This is going to cost you $40 to buy this $1 of junk silver. And you might think that's crazy, who's doing that, but people are doing this every day. I've done this so many times, I can't even count how many times I've walked into the coin shop and bought junk silver. But you don't have to buy 4 quarters. You could buy $1/2 and 2 quarters. That's going to be 40 times face as well. So $40 for all of this right here. But what is the price per ounce? That's where the face value multiplier comes in. So if we look at the face value multiplier and you go down to 40x, you could see that equals $56. So if the spot price of silver is $56 an ounce and you're paying 40x for your junk silver, then you're buying it at spot. Now, I know this can be confusing for some people, but the reason that this is the case is because $1.40 face value actually equals 1 troy ounce of silver. And this does account for wear. So if you do have 4 silver dimes and 2 silver half dollars, this is $1.40 face value. This is 1 ounce of silver. So $1 is not an ounce of silver. That's why we have to have the face value multipliers. And this is why it's so confusing for people when they buy junk silver, because they'll see something like 40x and they'll assume they're paying $40 an ounce when they're really paying $56 an ounce for their silver. And I do want to note that these coins are all interchangeable. So instead of 2 half dollars, you could do 1 half dollar and 2 quarters plus 4 dimes. This is also 1 troy ounce of silver. And I know it's 90%. I know it's confusing, but if you were to melt all of this down, take out the copper, and account for wear in the coins, this is the industry standard for 1 troy ounce of silver. So that's why we have the face value multipliers. But I do have this chart available for free download. All you have to do is click the link down below in the description. You can download it for free. You can print it out. You can keep it with you. You can take a screenshot, keep it on your phone. So if you're ever buying junk silver and you're not sure what the price per ounce is, just look at the face value multiplier and you'll know exactly how much you're paying for your junk silver. And the same is true for whenever you go to sell your junk silver. So if a dealer offers you 35x the face value, you can just look at the multipliers and you know right away they're offering you $49 per ounce for your junk silver. You can then look at the spot price and figure out, okay, they're paying me, so many dollars under spot for it. Do I want to take that? Do I not want to take that? So it's really helpful when it comes to buying and selling your junk silver as well. But I will say this is certainly one of my favorite things to stack. I've definitely bought a lot of it over the years. I think if you live in the United States of America, then you absolutely need to be stacking junk silver. And if we ever do go into an SHTF situation and we're forced to barter with our precious metals, I think junk silver is going to be very trusted, and it's going to be one of the easiest things to use as barter. So I definitely think this is a good thing to be buying. Also, the price of junk silver right now is typically right around spot, sometimes even under spot when you're buying it from an online dealer or from a local coin shop. So I think it's priced really reasonably right now. But the fact of the matter is, the government is not going to be making any more of this. There's a limited amount of junk silver. A lot of it is getting melted, unfortunately, because the refiners, they are now taking it once again, and they're just melting it down. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, because on one hand, there's less of it out there, which is unfortunate, but on the other hand, the stuff that is out there is becoming more rare. But anyway, that is my updated junk silver buying guide. I hope it was helpful for you, and if you have any thoughts you want to add to the conversation, definitely put those down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.